A strike has been averted at the last minute here at the General Motors plant located in Arlington, Texas. There had been indications that preparations were underway for the strike to take place. Some trucks were being moved, apparently rather hurriedly, from one of the lots here at the General Motors plant, trying to get the cars on the road before any pickets went up. And also there were some other indications around the plant of preparations for a strike. Then came word that the strike has been averted. A spokesman for General Motors Corporation here at this plant is Harry Blair. Harry, what is your statement on the situation at this time?
We're very happy to announce that
Living in Christmas may mean a lot more this year than they could have had there actually been a strike at this plant for the families of 3,800 workers here. This is Roger McDonald, Channel 8 News.
we are just trying to provide a base for a two-party system in Dallas. This base will serve the needs of the people of Dallas, whether they be conservatives or liberals or the greater majority of people who are neither. Naturally, there are folks in Dallas that need things, regardless of whether they're liberal or conservative. They need to have a government that they can go to that will be responsive to their claims, to whatever it is that they have to express to the city council people.
How will you choose your candidates? They will not be of a certain type of political persuasion?
No. Our candidates will be chosen by each of the 8 districts. The people or members of CRG and those who and everyone within the districts, all citizens of Dallas, will be invited to all of our meetings, which will be open.
However well we might do today, we're still on trial so far as the future is concerned. If our projections are correct, if Dallas is going to need the amount of water that we think it's going to need in the next few years, if your population is going to grow as we projected it will grow, if your educational requirements are going to be what we anticipate them to be, then surely it's going to require a great deal of thought and energy on the part of every person in this room, and particularly those who occupy positions of political responsibility. Because we have reached a point in time, with all of the dramatic changes that now surround the economic and social life of which we're a part, we have reached a point where political leadership and civic leadership is, in my judgment, the most single important factor in the future development of this county, of this city, and of this state.
The first thing that we're going to do, and that will begin tonight, we're going to have armed guards in plain clothes riding some of our buses after dark in the areas of high incidence, that is, in the areas where we have experienced the greater number of our robberies and of our assaults. Another one of the things that we're going to do, Chief Lumpkin has promised that he will step up the plans that he has had in the past. He has had squad cars for the past 5 years, which would follow some of our buses at night in some of these areas where we've been having most of our incidents. And he's going to step up this surveillance of those buses beginning tonight, and this will be increased as is necessary in order to keep these incidents at as low a level as we possibly can.
Fellow mayor walked to the parking lot, which I work, and it just happened, a lot of people walked through, but I was just paying attention to the fuzzy hat that he had on. He had on a fuzzy-looking hat, and then when he walked through, I wasn't paying any attention which way he was going or anything, but then all of a sudden my eyes glanced, and he went this way, which right upside the building. And when I knew anything, I heard a great big explosion. So naturally, I ran out of my office and saw all the smoke and paper flying and everything. So he was a small male. He was a colored male.
Was there a lot of paper flying around, a lot of smoke?
Yes, there was a lot of smoke and a lot of paper. It sure was. I didn't know what in the world was happening.
Did you feel afraid?
You better know it.
A strike has been averted at the General Motors assembly plant, and at the very last minute, I might add, when union and GM management negotiators reached an agreement involving the issue's work standards. Any details about what the dispute actually involved? Well, it's too early to get into that, and we like to say that it has been settled, and each side is pleased and happy that there'll be no work stoppages, we hope, between now and at least through Christmas.
The terms of our agreement, we reached a tentative settlement at this time on our work standards, and this was putting on some manpower and rearranging some of the work that was in there, revamping it. We worked this out department by department, and this is where we're at the time.
Are you pleased?
Yeah, we're fairly well pleased.
At a breakfast meeting of the area-wide Retail Grocers Security Association today, Robert B. Denson, president of the Denco Security Systems, said the loss each week to shoplifters in 500 North Texas supermarkets comes close to $1 million, with half of that being here in Dallas County. He also said that since the grocers work on such low margins of profit, that even the small losses fall back on the honest shoppers. Up until now, the shoplifter that was caught was not prosecuted if he had the money to pay for his merchandise. Dallas County District Attorney Henry Wade explained what measures his office will take to prosecute offenders.
We are going to give special emphasis on, for instance, setting shoplifting cases and attempting to keep some of your professionals in jail during that period, which will help the problem. If the juries will give them sufficient jail sentence, and do everything by way of prosecution that we can to deter this sort of thing.
If you're tempted to do a little shoplifting, it would be best to do it out of the North Texas area, or you might be singing White Christmas behind the bars of the Dallas County Jail. Carl Mayo reporting, Channel 8 News.
The experiences that we've had in the industry, the explosions or the fires at above ground tanks have been caused by the tanks running over, not by the fact that they were above ground.
What can be done then to alleviate the problem of running these tanks over? Do you have a training program for drivers?
Well, the Texas Oil Jobbers Association has the philosophy that education is better than legislation, and that's what this series of seminars is attempting to do, is to educate the people who are associated with the petroleum industry. Yes, there's no excuse for a driver ever running a tank over.